if your Jupiter is in your first house, before we go into that, let's summarize it. Jupiter brings luck, expansion, and also blessing, and give you gift into your individual birth chart. And also corresponding Jupiter in tarot is the Wheel of Fortune. And Wheel of Fortune is one of the luckiest card in the tarot deck. And every time I play tarot, see this card, I feel so lucky as well. So this brings a lot of changes and gift into our individual chart. And let's talk about how this lucky energy manifests into our first house.
That's right. So with Jupiter in the first house, you have a really like happy-go-lucky and very cheerful personality.
Yeah. And let's actually talk about ascendant part and then first house. Ascendant is the area our soul comes and meets our physical body. And first house is about sense of our self. So the ascendant including our first house, but any planets near the ascendant is actually manifest into our physical body. But if it is still first house, but a little bit away from the ascendant, for example, you're 2 degrees Sagittarius, but you have a Jupiter in 28 degrees. So they are still in first house, but they have a wide orb. But if your Jupiter is close to your ascendant, and that actually manifests as your physical body.
Exactly, because you get some of that energy, right? So whether it's like front or behind, you're still getting that energy feel from Jupiter. And Jupiter is the largest planet in the in the
solar system. Yeah. And also when Jupiter is in around our physical body side of the ascendant, and that is becoming like how can I say? That in the Photoshop tool is a sharpening, the like an enhanced tool. So the physical part of that area become really, really, really enhanced. For example, Sagittarius people, they're already so tall, but Jupiter being there makes them extraordinarily tall, like enhanced. And another example will be, Scorpio people has a special Scorpio face, very pointy, very narrow face, but they have a little bit of a rosy face. It's not rosacea or anything. It's more like a very too much blood is like on their face.
It sounds like you're describing me.
Right? So
I'm a Scorpio rising.
But he doesn't have a Jupiter, but imagine he has a Jupiter in his ascendant, then he's gonna have a really
it enhances.
Yeah. Anyone can tell him, oh my god,
the features.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because Jupiter, like again, it expands everything it touches. So if it just exaggerates certain body features, right? So I mean, you can have really long arms. You can maybe have really long legs, just be super tall, have a big head.
For example, Taurus people, Taurus governs our vocal cord, right? Jupiter being there, that makes them extra deep voice. And for Pisces rising people, if the Jupiter is in their ascendant, Pisces is rule our feet, right? So those people have a large feet for their body frame. Yeah. And I've been seeing those people as well.
Yeah, I knew someone in high school had really big feet, but he was only like 5'3". You know what I mean? But his shoe size was like, 10, 12? It was like unbelievable.
And this appearance part actually applies to a little bit of a 12th house as well. But when you see a housing system, let's use the mouse here. So ascendant is here between 12th house and the first house. So Jupiter being near this house from the first house and also from the 12th house manifests to our physical body. But when a planet is behind the ascendant, aka in 12th house, it's invisible, but it gives the person aura and things like that as well. So now let's talk about Jupiter in the first house. So a little bit away from the ascendant, but still in the first house. So how that brings the luck and expansion and blessing and gift. Let's talk about it.
So with Jupiter in the first house, you know, it's like you become the lucky charm. Like everything just seems like it's falling into place. And like, you know, some people may look at you like, how come do you have like a horseshoe up your, you know, because it's like they're just so lucky all the time.
And because when the Jupiter is close to Ascendant,
Yeah.
it manifests into our physical body. And when it separates from the Ascendant, then it manifests into our personality. That's why those people bring such a luck and expansion and such a like a bubbly personality, and they become the lucky charm, as Dave says. And also, first house is about the sense of I am. They can express themselves really, really well. And they can even sense that, oh, I am luckier than other people. Wherever I go, I bring luck. They can sense that energy as well. And first house is about the Aries natural position, right? So Aries has a pioneering energy. They usually go ahead and head first starting things. So the Jupiter being there bring the gift to those people. Have a like entrepreneurship energy. So Jupiter can also bring some kind of invention because of the Aries people. They just had to start. They just wanna do something, get things done, and they don't really think about the consequences, but they just do it, right? So that energy plus the Jupiter's luck expansion blessing can bring the gift to those people as the amazing business leader or like CEOs and things like that.
Yeah, and a lot of the successful people in the world are either they have like a Aries influence or Capricorn influence, because these are just very like business, get things done. I don't care what other people think. And the Jupiter just enhances that, right? So it's just like they're giving this extra power, extra boost to whatever energy that they have, right?
And I've been meeting few people who has a Jupiter in first house. Oh man, they're really bright. Not only bright, also they're so lucky. And I sometimes feel jealous being at a lucky charm, like a you know, that energy is a very blessing and gift they enhance from the Jupiter side.
Exactly. And these are just possibilities, right? Because when you look at the zodiac or your birth chart, you can't just look at like one house and say that you have all these qualities. You really have to look at it from the big picture point of view and see how it's aspected, right? Because it could be positively aspected or it could be negatively aspected. You can have other planets in there that really just combine, you know, multiple energies. Like if you have Jupiter plus like, you know, Venus, you know, then it's like, wow, then this person, super beautiful, super lucky, you know, people are just worshiping them.
And Jupiter enhances the Venus is one of the quality. It can be beauty, but it also can be food. So it enhanced it. So those people have a food intake issue.
Exactly.
And
like
if the Mars is there, so that, you know, like kind of like athletic energy, the Mars can bring, it manifests into those people's like either physical body or personality and make those people like unstoppable.
Yeah, and I'm sure those people would love those all-you-can-eat buffets, right? Right? Because just always being active, you know, and then Venus loving the indulgence and the Jupiter saying, okay, I want more, right?
So those are the Jupiter being in the first house.